If this is not your first time on this channel, you must have noticed that I love talking about parenting, and that's because I'm a parent. And also, the more I talk about it, I also learn from these videos because I'm a mom, and also I have a little experience from my own children. So in my last video I did on parenting, I talked about different forms of abuse, which neglect is one of them. So in this video, I want to talk more on how to tell if your child feel neglected.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ijoma. It is the first time of seeing my face, so I'm back with another video. And in this video I want to share with you guys how to tell that your child or your children they feel neglected. Children, they act in different ways. Sometimes they behave some certain ways that we cannot even tell why they act the way they act as their parents. And sometimes they act in those ways because they are seeking for validation, assurance from us as their parents. And another thing I want to point out is that communication is not only when we talk. Even sometimes our behavior is communication, and children they use behavior a lot to communicate instead of talking. And that behavior most times can turn out to be a negative one just because they are seeking attention or validation or love from us as their parents. They'll just be acting out, to get it from us. So as parents, we need to understand the root of our children's behavior to be able to help them. If you don't understand the root of their behavior, you may just keep on going about the same cycle without even solving the problem in the first place. So because children they depend on us as adults to feel safe, to feel loved, to feel secure. That is why they look for ways to get attention from us as adults. Popular opinion is that good behavior attracts love and praise, right? But funny enough, children don't see it that way. What they know is that they have to do something to get your attention, and sometimes they may end up getting the negative one because when they act out, we scold them, we even yell at them or punish them. But in their mind, they don't see it that way. In their mind, they feel like, okay, now at least someone is talking to me. At least I'm still visible. I'm not invisible. They want to know that you still notice them. You still feel that they are there. That is why they act out. So even when they don't get that positive reaction from you, at least they will manage that one instead of nothing out, instead of the total silence from you. And funny enough, most time parents, the only time they give their children attention is when they misbehave. That's when you're trying to scold them or yell at them or correct them. But when they now do something good, we find out that we don't even praise them, we don't appreciate them, we don't tell them well done, you did well. They feel like that is the only way, the only time they get your reaction, they get your attention, they get, they get to hear you talk to them as their parents. Some of the ways when your children are behaving that way, it tells that they are neglected. And number one, they raise their voice. You see them raising their voice, like when they want to talk, they raise their voice and shout. They want to be heard in their mind, or they want you to react. And now another character that shows neglect is interrupting, defying, or ignoring adults. When an adult is talking, maybe you're trying to discuss with a fellow adult, or maybe you're trying to do something very important. When your children feel that they get the normal attention they need as children, they don't just come to interrupt you when you want to do something important, or when you're talking to an adult. They'll be talking, they'll be talking to interrupt your discussion with an adult, or they will ignore you when you're talking to, when you're calling. They'll be hearing you, but they just ignore you. They're trying to get attention for you because they feel neglected already. Another one is they yelling and crying unnecessarily for no just reason, like they're just crying unnecessarily. It may also tell that they feel neglected as children. So another way is running away. You see, they run away, and when they're running away in their mind, they want you to chase them. They want you to be like, oh my child, why are you running? To come back, or follow them to know where they're going to. That is the way their mind goes. Other behavior is when they fight, they shove and hit their siblings. You see them always hitting their siblings, kicking their siblings. They're doing that to get attention because you know they're going to correct them. I tell them, don't hit your sibling, don't shout at your sibling. When they're doing that, they're trying to get your attention, they're trying to hear from you, they're trying to show you that still visible in case you don't notice them. So that is why you see them, they hit their siblings, they kick them, they look for their trouble so that you now come and settle the case, the matter, and so that they will feel they will get your attention. Another way is that breaking things and throwing things. They throw their toys, they break things. When you're talking to them, they just purposely throw their toys or they break things. because they know they're going to get attention from you. That is why they do those things. That if a child is not seeking unnecessary attention, most times they don't ask those ways. You don't see them throwing things or breaking things. Like me, I have to learn this because my first daughter, she has some ways. I've been wondering why she's doing some of the things that she does. And I now found out that sometimes they are looking for your attention. They want to be heard. That is why you see them, they throw their toys, so that you tell them, don't throw that, don't do that. What thing you are doing, they are very happy with that because they are giving them that attention they want. You see them, they generally make life difficult for you, but not by not allowing things to flow the way it's supposed to flow. These are the reasons that make children to act out when they have unfulfilled desires or need, when they crave your attention as a parent, or when they don't want to do what you want them to do. So whatever reason the child is acting as must fall within these things I mentioned. These negative behaviors does result in some kind of attention, usually not the kind of attention that they would have preferred. It's mostly a negative attention. But let me tell you, they will keep doing that because at least they're not paying attention to them, even though you're yelling at them. You're no longer too busy for them. It's easier at the end of the day for you as a parent to scold them, to shout at them, to try to correct them for what they are doing. But in their mind, they don't care. What they know is that they're getting attention from you. And if this continues, you see them, they will keep acting out because this is the only way they get attention, to be a repeating cycle. And you end up making them to even do it outside, when they're outside the home, when they go to school. They will keep, maybe when they feel that their teacher don't notice, they will act out in class just to get attention from their teacher. Or maybe when they're in other places they need attention, they now feel that the only way to get noticed by people is by acting out, by behaving the wrong way. I'm going to tell you now some of the things that make children to act out, some of the behaviors. Like I said, number one thing is neglect. But even in the midst of that neglect, there are some things that will make children to act out. Number one factor, or number one thing that will make a child or children to act out is stress. When your child is under stress, the only way children can deal with fear, loneliness, and emotional pain is through aggression, through disruptive behavior. And when they're only being blamed for their behavior, like they're only being blamed for their bad behavior in quotes, without finding out the root of that behavior and tackling it, I promise you they will keep doing that. They will keep, it will be a repeating cycle because they don't understand what you're saying. In their mind, they feel like this person don't understand me. This is not what I'm. They don't understand. Children don't. Their mind is not like the way. Their mind does not work the way our mind works. So if you only blame them whenever they misbehave, I'm not saying you should not correct them, but if you only blame them, you don't try to, after correcting them, to even check, why is this child behaving like this? Why is this child always acting out? Then I promise you, they'll keep acting out because you do not find out at the root of why your child is behaving, because the child is feeling stressed and you are just yelling at them and trying to correct them. They will keep up acting out because they are still under that stress. So another way is when you disrupt their routine as children. Children, they strive very well on a routine. So as a parent, when you disrupt their routines, maybe they have the time they do some certain things. Like, in fact, as a parent, if you want to actually get better of your children, you have to set out a routine for them, a routine that works out for them. So when you disrupt their routine, I'm not saying that because of change of environment or traveling or stuff, their routine may be disrupted, but let it not be like something that happen often. They're always disrupting their routine like it's just what they're used to. It will cause them to act. Another way that you are not enforcing rules. Funny, right? Then, contrary to the popular opinion, we see that children like to be to be lawless, like they like to be misbehaved without anyone correcting them, right? But funny enough, that is not it. As children, they like to feel secure, they like to feel safe, they like to feel that they can trust you. And the only way they can get this is by when you set out rules. There are rules that guide the things they do. It's not as if you're going to come out and start reading, these are the rules and regulations in this house, do not do this, do not. No. But your children feel that my mom, when I do this, my mom is not going to be happy with that. When I don't do this, my mom is not going to be happy with that. All these things make them to kind of, they are living under a rule, and this helps them to feel that they are secure and they are safe with you. Even though they are children, they have sense. They don't really want to. Sometimes they may even question those rules. Yes, that does not mean that they will not question your rules. Sometimes that does not mean that they will be happy that when you tell them they should not do something, that they will be happy and clap for you and say, "Mommy, thank you for not telling me to do these things." But that in their mind, they know that they're not safe with you. When you don't give them, when you just leave them to keep acting anyhow, to break the television, to act like, because Bible said that foolishness lies in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction, like my previous video, that rod of correction is not bringing out cane to flog them. That rod of correction are different measures that you correct a child. It can be through advising them through the word of God. So children, they actually strive well when you give them rules. They actually do well. So when you don't give them rules, there is no rules, they act out. They act out, like they feel like, okay, this person I don't get. They will cap they will, are you sure? Why is my mom not telling me not to scatter there? Why is she not telling me not to, they'll start acting out, because I mean, you're not paying them attention, you're not trying to correct them and tell them what to do. The other character that makes children to act out is they are tired. Maybe they are sleep deprived. Like when they are sleep deprived, they don't sleep well, they don't take a nap, they're not getting enough rest, and their bedtime routine is not, like they don't have bedtime routines. So it make that child to be tired, and when they are tired, when children are tired, they act out. If you can tell the parents, you see that especially toddlers, when they are tired, they will start crying. They will cry unnecessarily, whether you like it or not. They will cry. They will cry and disturb you. They will yell at your ear until you have to understand. They will not even tell you, mommy, I want to sleep. Especially these younger ones that are very small, they may not tell you, mommy, I want to sleep. They'll just keep crying, but you are already knowing their pattern. So, but you don't need to allow them to cry before we know that they will have to sleep. Another thing that makes them to act out is when they don't feel heard. When children, they like to be heard. So when your child does not feel heard, they will act out. I promise you, they will act out. So as a parent, you are supposed to listen to your children actively, not just listening to them. Children can tell when you are listening to them without, like, you're just acting, you're not really listening to them. So you have to listen to them actively, like by listening to them, even though they're talking rubbish, listen to that rubbish and they respond to that rubbish. They have to, so that's the way they feel heard. They feel like their opinion counts. They feel like they're not invisible, and it will make them not to act out. So when they're not listening to, they're not paying attention to what they're saying, they will act out now. They will do something. That is when sometimes they will even come and interrupt you when you're doing something important, when you're talking to a fellow adult. You see them interrupting what you're saying because they want to be heard. Another thing that makes children to act out is they are hungry. Parents, guys, when children are hungry, oh my god, they will act out. I promise you, that one is sure. They will act out, like they need to be fed. And funny enough, children may not be able to, they will not always be able to express to you that they're hungry. Even the ones that talk, sometimes they will forget that they have to tell you they're hungry. Even the ones that started talking, sometimes they will forget the way their mind works. Sometimes it may not occur to them they're hungry, so they will keep acting out. So as a parent, you should know the time that you feed them. And another thing, don't offer them food, like maybe as an adult to eat 3 times 3 square meal in a day, and you are planning to offer your children 3 square meal, to not work out. You have to introduce nutritional snacks in between their meals, like offering them snacks in between their meals, and they should take like at least eat like 5 times in a day most days. But it depends, sometimes when you offer them they don't want, but at least make sure that you are giving them food. They may feel more hungry than you as an adult. You may feel like, why it's not this child that ate now, but their system and our system is not the same thing, and they're very active, so their body burns a lot of glucose. So that is why they feel hungry often, because they're undergoing a lot of growth sprout also. So guys, this is the end of this video. So I just hope I was not just talking, I was able to point out the reasons why our children feel neglected, and then how to tell that they are neglected. The first thing I said was how to tell they're neglected, and then the reasons why they are now acting out. Reasons, like some practical reasons why they feel neglected. So guys, this is the end of the video. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification button if you want to see more of this kind of video. Thank you guys, and see you in my next one. Bye.